shell. Cause the way the real wealth is being real itself. But I haven't seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. It's time for me to love, put the hip shit on the shelf. Cause the way the real wealth is being real itself. But I haven't seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. Money, money, money. That's all you got to do. Like Kanye West said, having money is not everything. Not having it is. No, Deuteronomy 8:18 said God gives us the ability to obtain wealth. No, it's the love of money that's involved. You know, I want money so much. Why do you get us a little more careful? Just think about money. I'm just trying to leave a legacy for money. It's not everything, but when you got it, you can do some cool stuff. Now, your host, we're talking money in the morning. Financial help mentors, the world's class. H Cortez.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your main man, H Cortez here, the one and only financial health mentor to the working class. So good to be back with you guys live. As you know, I was on vacation all last week, man. Felt good to sleep in a little bit, but thank you, Takesha. I appreciate you tuning in this morning. Do me a favor, share this on your streams and your walls. Let's get people involved in this conversation, man. I'm just trying to collectively raise the financial IQ in our community because success and wealth starts in the mind. And today's show, we're talking about the belief and the cycle of success. And I want everybody to get this, not just success financially, but the success in any endeavor that you're going to have. And in fact, this entire week, it's going to be all about mindset, man. I want you guys to understand the mindset of wealthy people, the mindset of successful people. If you're not hanging around successful people, then you want to change your circle, guys. It's extremely important. So we're going to dive right into it. But before we do, you know good and well, I always got to tell you exactly who this show is for. This show is for my risers and grinders. If you woke up this morning thinking to yourself, I got to get up, get out, and get something, and you're not going to let all the time pass you by, then this show is for you. If you went to bed last night thinking about your legacy, planning, plotting, strategizing on what you're going to do this week, this month, this year to make your legacy, to lay the foundation, then this show is for you. If you're the type of person that know that you got the desire to be wealthy and successful, you know you got the discipline to be wealthy and successful, but maybe you just don't have a game plan. Maybe you need a mentor in your life. Maybe you need some plans, some tips, some strategies on how to get you there. Well, this show is for you. Now, it's like we say who the show is for. I would be remiss to not admit who this show is not for. Guys, if you're the type of person that think money and capitalism is evil, this show is not for you. If you have a problem with me just saying the word money 10 times in the last 12 seconds, this show is not for you. If you're the type of person sitting back, waiting on the government to fix the economy instead of focusing on your economy, this show is not for you. And if you are, and let's be clear, I do not have a problem with you if you don't want to be wealthy. Your prerogative. I only have a problem with you when you have a problem with me wanting to be wealthy. Just like you don't want to be wealthy, I want to be wealthy and extremely wealthy, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I don't think anything is wrong with it. I think my creator designed this entire planet, this entire universe for abundance. We just got to figure out how to get through the man-made crap to get to the abundance that God has set in place for all of us. So that's why I do this show. So if you don't like money, you think money and capitalism is evil, you think wealthy people are snobs, you're going to repel money away from you. So this show is not for you, because if you start watching this show, you're going to start attracting money to you because you're going to start thinking differently. So you can tune out, and I promise we won't feel no kind of way about that. Today's show is brought to you by intellectualradio.com. My girl, Rhea Ray, she hosts the Straight No Chaser show. I'm actually, when I'm done here, going to drive over to Chicago to sit in the studio live. If you guys have ever listened to her show, she brings awesome guests on, and they give you the straight talk. That's why I love it. And I do a segment on that show called Money Moments, where I do a 3-minute spiel about how to get your money right. Well, today I'm going to sit in for the entire hour, and I'm really going to give it to you guys. So intellectualradio.com. If you're not familiar with that, I want you to lock that in. Make that one of your favorites. So go to that site, make it one of your favorites, guys. We always complain about what CNN and Fox and all these guys are not reporting on, but we have our own media outlets that we don't support. So put that in your queue, guys, and start tuning in to intellectualradio.com. They have all kinds of shows, talk, good music. It's all about lifting the awareness in our community. So intellectualradio.com. I'll be on the Straight No Chaser show this evening. It airs at 6 p.m. Central Time. You can watch on Straight Talk. You can watch at intellectualradio.com. Straight No Chaser also has a YouTube channel that you can watch the show live on there. So now let's get started. Let's talk about belief and the cycle of success, right? We talked a little bit on a couple live streams that I did over the weekend, how wealth begins in the mind, but not just wealth, success in general, right? There's a cycle of success. You guys know I'm a youth basketball coach, and I do more than just try to get the kids' skill levels up, get their bodies right to be able to compete and take the bumps and the bruises that the game will put on them. I'm always working on their mind. I'm more of that Phil Jackson type coach. They always call Phil Jackson the Zen master, because he's always giving his players books to read. He's taking them on exotic retreats where they're gonna get massages and sit around Buddhist monks and things of that nature. Well, I want the kids to understand the psychology behind success. So I'm always talking to them in a positive way. I'm always, when we're training, I've got motivational speakers going in the background and stuff like that. I'm trying to get inside that head to let them know that it's more than just a physical part of the game. It's more than just a skill part of the game. It's more than just having the right heart and mental toughness. You got to have the right psychology to be successful at anything. So we're talking about belief and the cycle of success. So what is the cycle of success? It starts with your belief, because until you believe, you will never do the work. I'll say that again. Until you believe, you'll never do the work, right? Think about where you are right now, and think about some of the ideas that you've had flowing inside your head, and they're still flowing inside your head, meaning you're not taking any action on them. Why aren't you taking the action? Because you don't fully believe yet. Because if you fully believed that you can pull it off, that you can make it happen, you would do the work, right? Some people are out there doing the work because they believe, but there's different levels to your belief, because the level that you believe determines how much of the work that you're going to do. Hey, Ray J, the level that you believe determines how much work that you're going to do. Let me give you another basketball analogy, right? Some people, when they're coming up, they're playing this game, they believe that they're good enough to play college ball, right? And when that is the belief, in most cases, they only become really good high school players. Some players believe that they can go pro. And in most cases, just believing you can go pro, you'll do just enough work that will get you maybe a college scholarship, and you get to play ball and go to school for free, right? Other people believe that they're going to be an NBA all-star, right? And that belief level usually gets them into the NBA, but they never really become an all-star, right? Some people believe that they will become an NBA champion. Well, that belief will get them to do the work to not only get into the NBA, but maybe they become an all-star and never win a championship. Then other people you have, I'm just going to skip over, there's a couple more levels, but let me skip all the way to the top. Some people believe, like a Kobe Bryant or LeBron or Michael Jordan, that they're going to be the best to ever play the game. And when that is the belief, they end up being the best in the world, even if they never be the best to ever play the game. They end up being one of the best in their era. So your level of belief determines how much work you're going to actually put in. See, I believe I'm going to be a billionaire, so that's why you see me putting in so much work, because I know that If I miss, by setting that aspiration way up there, and if I miss, maybe I only have hundreds of millions. Maybe I never make it to a billion, right? So your level of belief is important. Number one, you first have to believe, or else you'll never do the work. Number two, your level of belief is important. What do you believe about what you can do? What do you believe about the idea, the aspiration, the dream, the goal that you have? All right. And then you got to do the work. Number two. All right. So number one, we're talking about the cycle, a belief in the cycle of success. Here's the cycle of success. You have to first believe, because your belief will allow you to take action. All right. When you take action, then you have to analyze the results, because whenever you're taking action, you're always going to get results, good, bad, or indifferent. But you got to learn how to analyze those results. And when you analyze those results, they should, if you understand how to really analyze your results, and we're going to talk about that in a second, they should increase your belief. And when you increase your belief, then that increases the effort of your activity. And once your activity increases, guess what? Your results get better. The better the results, the more they increase your belief. The more they increase your belief, the more you work. The more you work, the better the results. The better the results, the more they increase your belief. And that's the cycle of success. But some people don't believe in the first place, so they never do any work. Therefore, they don't get any results to further increase their belief. And they're in a negative cycle or a downward spiral of disbelief, because it works the same way. You don't believe, you don't do the work, you don't get any results, so that further feeds your self-doubt. I'm going to say it again. It works in reverse. You don't believe, so therefore you don't do the work, therefore you don't get any results, so you further feed your self-doubt and disbelief, which makes it even harder for you to do any work in the first place. We're talking about belief. This entire week, guys, is going to be all about mindset. I'm going to be pounding you to fix your mindset, fix your thought process, to get you in a place where you, number one, believe that you can succeed at whatever it is that you put your mind to. We tell our children that all the friggin' time. But then as the adults, we don't do anything towards our dreams and goals. Stop being a hypocrite. Tell your children they can do anything that they set their mind to. Then how about you start doing what you set your mind to? How about you put it out there in front of your kids? On my board right here, I wish I can turn the camera around so you can see. Let me see. Let's see if I can spin the camera around so you can see. On that board right there, what does that say? $2,739.72 per day. Why is that? Why is that number significant? Because on my way to my first billion, I have to first hit my first million. And to become a millionaire, to earn $1 million in a year, it will take you to earn $2,739.72 per day. Why is that right there on the board in the middle of the kitchen so everybody can see? So that my family can hold me accountable. They can see that we're going after something. So that my sons, when they see that and they see me working, they understand. Now, guess what? Children pick up more than they're actually taught. So they see this number, they see the goal, they see that our number one goal is to change the world. But we're going to do that through building wealth so that we can free up our time, so that we can donate our time to causes that will have the impact that we need to change the world. So they see that, and then they see me working every morning before they go to school. Then they see me go to work, right? And then they see me come home from work, and then they see me doing what? Work more. Why do I do that? Because my belief. I believe that I can have success with what I'm doing, so I do the work. All right? Now, once you do the work, once you believe, you take the action. What action? Even if you don't know what action to take, put one foot in front of the other. All right, that's when you start doing the work. Sometimes the work isn't the actual work to get you there. Sometimes the work is the leg work. Sometimes you have this amazing idea and you don't know how to pull it off. And that causes you to procrastinate. No, start doing the leg work. Start doing the research. What is it going to take me to pull it off? Who do I need in my life to help me pull it off? There's some things that I'm going to be able to do myself, other things that I'm going to need somebody to do for me. So let me start surrounding myself with the right people. Trust me, I get it. I'm not going to become a billionaire by myself. And no billionaire has ever has. No millionaire. You hear the term self-made millionaire? It's an oxymoron. Because no millionaire is self-made. It takes a team. That's why I partnered up. I see my man Jay Turner on the stream from American Hustle. So I make strategic partnerships because I know that when me and him sit down and we work together, I'm going to help him get to his billion and he's going to help me get to my billion. So you have to start doing the leg work first. And then once you start doing the leg work, don't get what's called the a paralysis of analysis. That means you got all the information to do what it is that you need to do. Now you got so much information that you don't want to take the first step. Every journey starts with a single step, followed up by another step and another step. And you just keep putting one foot in front of the other. So your belief level will determine what kind of action that you're going to take. If you barely believe, you're going to barely take action. If you believe strongly, you're going to take massive action. And that massive action is going to get you results. Now, when it comes to results, I want to teach you this. The results are just that. They are what happened based on the action that you took. And I want you to understand something. Results are never really good and they're never really bad. It's just you have to understand how to analyze them. Because results are just cause and effect. What did you do? What was the cause? And what was the effect? And you have to understand how to analyze that. A lot of people, you've been taught in this world, when you go to school and you don't do so good on a test, you get all these red marks and you start thinking failure. There's no such thing as failure, guys. The only way to fail is if you quit. So you either learn or you either win. You either learn and you continue, right? You win, you learn, and you continue. But the only way you lose is if you quit. So when it comes to your results, you analyze them and just recalculate and then reshoot. I like to teach people that you get ready, you fire, then you aim. Well, how do you fire, then you aim? That means you're ready. Most of you are conditioning your mind and say, you know what? I need something more out of life. That's why you're tuning in today. I need something more in my finances. That's why you're tuning in today. I want to become more successful. That's why you're tuning in today. So you're ready, but you're busy trying to aim first, right? That means you're studying and you're watching it, but you're not taking any action. So I say, get ready, which most of you are. Now aim, take some sort of action. And then get the results from that action. Then you course correct. Then you aim. And then you fire again. So that's what we're talking about. The cycle of success starts with belief. Belief will determine the type of actions that you take. Any action that you take will always yield some sort of result, but you have to understand how to analyze the result. Study the result, okay? I took this step. I didn't get the result that I wanted, but it got me closer to my goal. How did it get me closer if you didn't get the result that you wanted? It taught you what not to do. All right. Edison, and I don't like to use this as an example because I believe someone else was right there with Edison. But Edison said he didn't fail 10,000 times when he was trying to create the light bulb. He discovered 10,000 ways that it wouldn't work. That's what success is. That's the mindset you have to have when you analyze your results. You didn't fail. You just discovered a way that it wouldn't work. So you recalibrate, you course correct, and you fire again, scratching that method off the table because that one didn't work. And you keep doing that. And I promise you, the more you do that, the closer you will get to the results that you actually want. And guess what? When you do that and when you understand how to analyze your results properly, then you will increase your belief. And that's the cycle. So again, here's the cycle of success. Starts with belief. The level that you believe determines the actions that you're going to take. If you barely believe, you're barely going to take actions. You're going to get minimal results. But even so, you're getting some results. So you analyze those results, and they will increase your belief if you understand how to analyze your results. But you believe, they lead to the actions that you're going to take. Those actions that you take will lead to results. Again, results aren't necessarily good or bad, positive or negative. They are what they are, cause and effect. You analyze those results, allow them to feed your belief. And once your belief begins to increase, then you're going to take greater action. So it starts with belief. Your belief leads to the action that you're going to take. The action that you take, the action that you take will get you some results. You analyze those results, and those results allow those results to feed your belief. Now your belief gets bigger. When that belief gets bigger, you take even more action. That's how you have success on autopilot. I guarantee you this, all winners, all successful people have massive amounts of belief in themselves and their abilities and what they can and cannot do. And how do they do that? I'll give you an example on how I do that. And fellas, I'm gonna say, if you don't have a good woman in your corner, if you don't have a good woman in your corner, you're missing it, bro. Because I'm gonna tell you, my wife tells me all the time. She said, there's nothing that you can't do, right? And I love that. I come home and I analyze my success and things didn't go the way that I want. She said, man, if there's nothing that you can't do, you just got to figure it out. So having the right person in your corner is important. But here's how I continue my belief. I go back to past successes. I go back to past successes. So at the point that I'm analyzing my results and I didn't get the results that I want, I start thinking about, hey, man, you remember that time you laid that floor and you ain't never laid no floor before in your life? And it came out good, right? So this too, you're going to figure it out. So you go back to past successes, right? You remember that time you installed that ceiling fan and you had never installed a ceiling fan in your life, but you figured it out? Yeah. So that continues to feed my belief. So when I keep telling myself every day that, and when I look in the mirror, man, that's what a future billionaire looks like. Man, that's what a future billionaire looks like. And I go out and I try to make something happen and I don't get the results that I want. I go back to past successes and I say, you know what? You remember you earned your first commission online with your first online business and you didn't think you was going to be able to get that thing done and it happened for you? This too, you're going to figure out. So in order to build belief, if you don't believe, if you got this idea in your head and you don't really believe right now, I want you to think back to past successes. Right now, I didn't graduate from college, but some of you guys watching did. That's a success. So when you got this idea in your mind about what you're going to do or about how you're going to be successful at it, and you're apprehensive to get it started, I want you to think back to that past success. Remember those 4 or 5 years that you put into college and every step of the way you was doubting whether or not you were going to graduate, but you got that thing accomplished and you got that degree? That's a past success. Allow that to build your belief to propel you forward into what you want to do today. Some of us didn't graduate from college, so start thinking about high school. If you were like me, you played around high school all the way through. But you have to go back to a past success and allow that to feed your belief. Just like I was a newbie in high school, just like I was a newbie in construction, just like I was a newbie in business and entrepreneurship, there was a time I didn't think I would ever make any money online. There was a time I didn't ever think I would make any money in my own business. But I went back to past successes. I said, all you got to do is put one foot in front of the others. If other people are making money doing what you're trying to do, then figure out what they know, figure out how to do what they know, start doing it consistently, and you can have the results that they're having. So that's another way that you build your belief. Look at other people's successes. I study successful people. All right, not just successful in the area of finances, but if you're successful at anything, I want to know how you got to be successful. Because I can glean something from what it took, what you have to overcome, the habits that you have, what you do in the morning when you get up, your first 5 minutes, your first 10 minutes, your first hour, how you structure your day, how you manage your time. I can learn from that if you're successful. and I can start applying some of those principles in my life to be successful at whatever I want to be successful in. So we're talking about understanding belief and the cycle of success. It all begins with belief. So if you're just tuning in, I'm your main man, H Cortez, financial health mentor to the working class. I do this every morning, Monday through Friday. We're talking about belief and the cycle of success. And here's the cycle. Starts with belief. How you believe determines how you're going to take action. If you barely believe, you're going to barely take action. You're going to barely get results. But don't fret. If that's where you are, if your belief level is down, that's okay. Because if you go through the cycle of success, we're going to talk about how that belief is increased. So if you barely believe, you're going to barely take action. You barely take action, you're going to barely get results. But what you have to do is you analyze those results. And you say, you know what? This didn't work in this area. It was somewhat successful over here. And then you allow the results and pat yourself on the back just for a quick second and say, you know what? I didn't get the results that I wanted, but hell, I took some action. I stepped out on faith and I did something. No, I do these live streams, and no, there are thousands of people on these live streams, but I'm taking action. And I'm going to analyze these results and say, okay, what kind of information do I need to bring to the audience that I want to reach to get more and more people involved? Right? So I'm analyzing my results. But at the end of the day, I'm saying, you know what? You're doing something that a lot of people want to do, but they're afraid to do it. They're not stepping out there on faith. So you're doing something. So you're taking action. So I'm going to take those little results that I'm getting, 8, 9, 10 people who's watching now, those little results that I'm getting right now, and I'm going to let them feed my belief. And I'm going to say, you know what? Hell with everybody else. I'm going to talk to these 8 people every day, every morning. And if that's all that tunes in, then I'm going to give my very best to these 8 people every day. And that's going to feed my belief. And what's going to happen when my belief gets fed? It's going to grow. And the bigger my belief gets, the more action I'm going to take. And I take more and more and more action. And guess what? I get more and more and more results. And then I analyze those results. And I figure out what's not working, what is working. I do more of what's working and less of what's not working. And that's going to continue to feed my belief. And what's going to happen to my belief? It's going to grow. It's going to get bigger and bigger. And the bigger that belief gets, the bigger the action I take. I get bolder. I take more action. I take more consistent action. I take more aggressive action. And when I take action like that, I get bigger, better, bolder, more aggressive results. Then I analyze those results. Here's what worked. Here's what didn't work. Here's what worked some sort of way. Here's what almost worked, but if I tweak it a little bit, it probably will work better. And then that's going to feed my belief. And my belief is going to grow. And that's the cycle of success. But it starts with belief. You've got to believe, man. You got to believe. Some of us are waiting for other people to believe for us. And I don't know about you guys, but the book I read says all things are possible for him or her that believes. It didn't say it's possible for me if my mom believes. It didn't say it's possible for me if my wife believes. That helps. It says all things are possible for him that believes. You have to believe. All right. If you don't believe, doesn't care what others believe about you. Before I started, the person, yep, I see you, Candace. I mean, your belief is growing bananas. It's growing, and that's what I like to see. But that's the deal when you understand that cycle of success. So all things are possible for him who believes. And how do I know this to be true? I'm a youth basketball coach. I see talent and potential in kids right now today that they don't see. Because if they believed, they put in the work. They put in the work, they get the results. They get the results that'll feed their belief. But they don't believe yet. So it doesn't matter how much I believe in them. They've got to believe it. Same is true for you. Same is true for your children. Teach your children how to believe. It doesn't matter how much you believe in your child. The trick is to get them to believe in themselves. You got to get them to believe, right? I know they can fly. I know my kids can fly, all 5 of my sons and a couple nephews and cousins that I raised. I know they can fly. But the level the heights that they reach will only be determined on how much they believe that they can fly. And that's the trick. Got to get them to believe, right? Same with you. I know each and every one of you guys tuning in, whatever you want to be successful in, I know you can do it. But it's not about me believing. It's about you believing. You got to believe that. You've got to believe that. And when you believe that, you'll put in the work. And when you put in the work, you're going to get some results. But don't let them results, don't think about them results that they're negative or positive, good or bad. They're just results. Analyze them. All right. Like again, Edison said he figured out 10,000 ways that the light bulb wouldn't work. It wasn't that he failed, because failing means quit. If you don't quit, you're good to go. You're just going to analyze those results, learn from them, and keep it moving. Got some calls. Talk to you later. All right, Ray J, appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Share it on your wall for me. So, guys, we're at the bottom of the hour. This show is normally 30 minutes. So I'm still going to keep it to 30 minutes, even though I'm fresh off vacation and want to give you guys a full hour. But now we're going to keep it to 30 minutes. But that is the cycle of success. It starts with you believing. Your belief level determines the action that you take. The action that you take determines the results that you get. If you understand how to analyze those results, then they should feed your belief. Your belief gets bigger. You take bigger actions. You'll get bigger results, and you analyze those bigger results, and they should feed your belief. And that cycle continues until you get what you want, until you have the success that you want. And if that becomes your habit, guys, then success really happens according to your habits. Make that your habit, and you start having success on autopilot. So today's show is brought to you by intellectualradio.com. Today I'm driving over to Chicago. I'm going to be on the Straight No Chaser show with my girl, Rhea Ray. If you ever listen to that show, then you know that I also do the Money Moments on that show. I do a 3-minute segment. Well, today I'm going to be in studio for a full 1 hour. So go to intellectualradio.com. Save that as your favorite, guys. It's good quality programming, news and media brought to you for us and by us. We talk about what CNN won't do, what Fox won't do, and all that kind of stuff. Let's start finding and supporting our own media outlets so they can grow and reach more of us and bring us the news that matters to us. So the Straight No Chaser show starts at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you go to intellectualradio.com, you can listen to it live there, the stream. You can also go to Straight No Chaser YouTube channel and view the show live as we stream live. And I'll probably do a little live streaming myself from the show. So stay tuned to my page. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, the cycle of success starts with belief. Belief determines your actions. Your actions determine your results. Properly analyze the results. Your results should never make you quit. They should only make you recalibrate, readjust, rethink, and then you come back at it and allow that to increase or feed your belief so you start all over again. I'm your main man, H Cortez, financial health mentor to the working class. Remember, this week is all about mindset. If you need some mindset training, you're going to want to tune in because that's what we'll be covering. I'm trying to lock down a superstar in the field of mindset training for to be a guest this week, and I hope I can pull it off. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about faith and finances, right? Do the two go together? And I have an exciting guest that I'm going to bring to you guys tomorrow, Miss Clarissa Pace. She's an awesome individual, and I heard her speak one time, and I said, man, I got to get her on the show for you guys. So that's going to be tomorrow. But all week we're dealing with your mindset because we know that wealth and success starts in the mind, and then it allows you to take action, and then you can get what you want. You can have what you want, but it all starts with your belief. So until I talk to you and tomorrow's show, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. Peace out.